Hey, podcast listeners, before we head on back to the show, I just want to give a quick shout out to @Donator of the Year, a live contributor to the Generic Live Show, live chat rumor of the Generic Live Show, who donated $10 with the message, "I love your Twitch challenge, enjoy the money." Thank you very much, Donator of the Year, for your contribution. And if you want to also join in live, like many of the fine folks, like Donator of the Year, who has been over at / Generic Live Show, or the fine folks over at /Geek.io, twitch.tv/Geek.io show, like M-Beam, please do that. Twitch.tv/Geek.io show, or twitch.tv/Generic Live Show, or you can help support the show over at patreon.com/Geek.io. It really means a lot, even if it is small, even if it's at $1. Every little bit helps. So thank you very much for your support. Now, back to the show proper. Out of 10 fictional doctors say that you should start your day the Generic Live Show way. This is the Generic Live Show. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Monday. What? It's a Monday. Thanks for joining us. It's a pleasure to be here. It's Dale Kimball. We're here with you. It's a pleasure as always. We're doing it live. We're doing it live or on your hard drive. It is the same show, live or on your hard drive. Either way, it's completely up to you. But you can find us live at twitch.tv/Geek.io show or at twitch.tv/Generic Live Show. Thanks for joining us. It's a pleasure as per always. Now, okay, this first story is a humdinger on the second hour of the program, and if you stick around for the whole hour, we will reward you at the end of the hour. If the show's not rewarding enough, this is definitely going to be a rewarding thing for you. Now, we covered this story in great detail in the first hour of the program, which you should check out. Definitely check out the first hour of the program. I just had to check if my microphone was unmuted. Is this thing on? So, a story that have covered many times on this show. It's actually getting quite tiring to actually cover it on this show. Is that same-sex marriage is become this huge issue in Australia, whether to legalize it or not. So the TLDR of this, because we've got not only to explain how this works, like what is going on this week in the same-sex marriage in Australia, equal marriage in Australia. Not only do we have that update, but we also have a bunch of articles kind of explaining the cultural fallout of it, if that makes sense. So what is happening? So, following months of public division over same-sex marriage, I'll post this in the chat there for everyone live to see. I'm still thinking about that thing that rolled in the mud last hour. It's so cute. Following months of public division over same-sex marriage, the Turnbull government has decided to spend its plan for a compulsory plebiscite back to the Senate, and when it likely fails, which it did, thankfully we pushed the show, bumped the show backed, because we wouldn't have found out if it did or not. I would advise to pass legislation with a voluntary postal plebiscite to decide if the MPs get a free vote. That will not be run by the Electoral Commission that run normal elections here in Australia, the Australian Electoral Commission, but will be run by the Australian Bureau of Statistics. And I know I made this joke last hour, but previously on the Australian Bureau of Statistics, that just doesn't really work that well, because, yeah, I know, keep that up really late. By the way, do they still use that music on Serial? I know Serial was a thing, it got a second season, but do they use that music? Okay, that's not important. The important thing is, previously on the Australian Bureau of Statistics, they ran a census last year here in Australia that kind of didn't really work. And the thing is, it didn't really work, and it failed miserably because they thought for the first time ever that they would migrate to online, which is fine. It's simpler for people to do it online than to fill out a survey and forward it on into their favourite post box. Their closest post box. I don't know why I said favourite. Man, mine's all jumbled. Thank God I bumped the show. Imagine what I would have said yesterday. And their favourite post box. But where was I going with that? Oh, instead of doing that, they decided to do it online. Which is fine. Except when you have 10 million people logging onto one website at the same time. I don't understand how that works, but anyway. So it will be a postal vote, a postal survey. It's being framed as a survey, not a plebiscite anymore. So there you go. If compulsory attendance plebiscite, no, that doesn't happen. It won't be held on to November 25th because ballots will seek letterboxes from September 12th. And a result likely declared by November 15th. Wow. Excuse me. Oh boy. That's not professional at all. Anyway. So that is what's happening. An opinion piece that I think is very, very important. It's very important that we address this big elephant in the room. Is an opinion piece, what I can describe as an opinion piece from The Age, sets this argument up really well. Sets up this next segment really well. This first paragraph comes from Bradiga Chris Roberts. Or Chris Roberts. He goes by Chris Roberts now. Because I say he goes by Chris Roberts. Anyway. He writes, as a decidedly heterosexual male, I pose 5 questions for those who oppose equality in marriage. Do you believe in discrimination? Will people of the same-sex marriage directly affect you? Your day-to-day life? Will equality in marriage fundamentally affect the Australian way of life? Will same-sex marriage, as Tony Abbott contests, inherent religious freedom? Do you believe all Australians should have equal rights? Equal rights. That's the last question. Mr. Roberts writes, I would think that any decent thinking, intelligent Australian would answer no to the first 4 and yes to the last one. So what's the problem? At heart, it's a human right, Mr. Roberts contests. It's quite possibly we asked our opinion regarding same-sex marriage in the near future. The no camp are introducing irrelevant arguments about freedom. Okay, let's not do that. The issue is simply, should people of the same sex be allowed to marry legally? Now, I made this point in the last hour of the program, is that the issue has, and I'm glad this article brings my point through, is the issue has now not become should equal marriage be a thing in this country. It should become legal in this country. But the issue's now swung so far away from it to be, how do we achieve same-sex marriage in this country? It's become the how, not the what, which is strange, which I find it deeply interesting. Mr. Roberts continues. It's a question of basic human rights. Should we deny a sizable minority, or anyone, the same rights as the rest of society? This question is simple. If you believe that everyone should have the same human rights, then your answer to the postal vote should be yes. Yes, and will he go away? Oh God, here we go. Here's the thing. If Tony Abbott wants a no vote in the same-sex marriage survey to be a vote against political correctness, then yes vote should mean that we should never hear from him again. No, look, okay, Tony Abbott is not going away. Just because we want someone to go away doesn't mean they're not going to. That is how this is how politics works. Just because we want someone to go away doesn't mean they actually do go away. Because it's politics, and Tony Abbott is a former Prime Minister, first of all. Second of all, he is enough of a presence that he's definitely staying around. He's sticking around. Freedom cuts both ways. Oh, by the way, that didn't come from Mr. Roberts. That last one came from Mr. Piracies. And this next one comes from Mr. Singleton. This next one comes from Mr. Ross, that says, freedom cuts both ways. Tony Abbott's claim that a no vote for same-sex marriage is a vote for freedom of religion is plexing. A no vote is the strict of all people in his narrow view of religion. If people are to be free of their own religions or non-religions, morality, then a yes vote is needed. A freedom of religion must also include a freedom from religion, which that's also a good point. A good point is, if you want to be, the freedom of religion can also mean you want to observe no religion. Because now back to previously on the Australian Bureau of Statistics, they have this big hurrah about religion, and how I think I talked about on the show, how their big thing is how how the increasing amount of people in this country actually don't observe any religion. That's also the big thing. Arguments need foundations. This next one comes from Mr. Craig. Michael Collins' argument from The Age on the 11th of August left him bemused. How does same-sex marriage have the potential to adhere religious freedom? For the debate to be respectable and well-informed, such as unsupported statements that need to be at least queried. It's true. Forum. Market flaws, Mr. Richer writes. It's a waste of time, says Mr. Peterson. It's the wrong direction, Mr. Brighton says. Nothing to see here, says Mr. Fina. Take the lead, says Mr. Xiong. Graffiti crimes, says Mr. Nicholson. Mr. Kemp says power failure. Say that 10 times fast. Tackling the problem, says Mr. Jens. Arranged unions, says Mr. McClutchin. One code for all, says Mr. Kerr. Checking the mail, says Mr. Hassel. Which, okay, here we go. No, I will hone in on this checking the mail thing, because this is a good point. Last year, Australia Post dropped its letter standard to regional Australia to 6 business days. This could equal up to even 10 calendar days with weekends thrown in. This is a truly third world service, but not a boo from the Nationals. However, the upcoming survey will have returns within a week. That is 7 calendar days. Oh. Okay. So it is claimed by a political spokespeople. So 1 million Aussies living overseas, with the majority in the 29 to 38 age bracket, so many of those folks can vote in the plebiscite. Okay. So their votes for a few thousand, say from Scotland, Canada, Cambodia, India, Indonesia, will get back counted within 7 Australia days, when Australia's normal regional to regional letter post takes up to 10 calendar days. Wow. 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 Okay. Huh. I never thought of the actual... Okay. That's a really good point. And one thing that I actually didn't think about was the logistics of this. Then that's one thing I didn't tear down on last hour, was the logistics of actually mailing out all of the surveys to people, because it's going to be a full-fledged survey. It's not going to be a slip of paper like you would get in a normal plebiscite in a voting booth, because we're going to get a full survey. We're going to get a full survey. It's not going to be a slip of paper with a yes/no tick box, because that's not going to happen. I can guarantee you that's not going to happen. So there you go. That's not going to happen. But for people checking their mailboxes as well, because not everyone checks their mailbox every day. Because they're like, okay, I don't get mail often. I'll check it on this day, at this time, if that makes sense. So there you go. And I didn't even think about the logistics of trying to get the surveys out. That's a really interesting point. Huh. There you go. And another thing, politics. Who is running Australia? Says Mr. Martin. Okay. All right. Now we're getting into that. But final thoughts. Australia should have equal marriage, because obvious fact is obvious. That's all I say. As we continue here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday with Dale Campbell, we go from talking about equal marriage to eating almonds. No, that's your tease. That's all you get. All you get is, okay, the Generic Live Show. Coming up next, we go from same-sex marriage to eating almonds. What will that involve? Who knows? Dale Campbell here, Generic Live Show. Thanks for joining us. 10:21. We are making fun of that theme song, so therefore it is fair use because I say it is.
Hey you! Yes you, fine listener of this program. You can help us become more than what we already are. I know, it's a revolution. Hold on to your butts, because I'm about to give you a URL address that could change our lives. Not really, but it would help us out tremendously if you went over to geek-io.net/support, so we can do a lot more than what we're actually doing now. That website actually has a lot of links on it where you can help us out monthly through Patreon at our Patreon site at patreon.com/geekio, or you can help us out once off by supporting those who support us. But then you can become the ones who support us, who support you, who support us. It's Supportception. To continue this Supportception, it's in your hands. Go to geek-io.net/support to keep this ever-long cycle of support up. Thank you.
8 out of 10 fictional doctors say that you should start your day the generic live show way. This is the generic live show. Ooh. Thanks for joining us here on the generic live show, or otherwise known as the generic. There you go. That's what it's called now. That's what this show is called. This show is called the generic. There you go. That's what this is called. The generic. Thanks for joining us here at the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. Thanks for joining us. It's a pleasure to be here. As per always, me and Donator of the Year. Here's the mom. Gave us $10 on Twitch. Thank you so much, Donator of the Year, for your generous contribution. It means a lot. And okay, real people talk for a moment. And as a person who is a budding podcaster and a person who finds passion in doing this show, it does mean a lot. Even just listening to the podcast, and since doing this show, the show started as an on-air joke back like 4 years ago, and for this show to come this far is amazing. So it means a lot. Whether you listen to us passively, passing by on the Twitch channels, passing by us on YouTube, passing by us, or either liking the Facebook page too, facebook.com/genericliveshow, dropping us a line, it means a lot. So thank you so much for people reaching out and just contact the show. And it's like this show is designed to be a talkback show, a one-sided talkback show. But it's kind of like a lounge, if that makes sense. It's meant to be the radio. Like the radio, no one sits in front of the radio and listens actively. I mean, we would love people to listen to the full 2-hour plus and the pre-show and the post-show. We would love that, but that's not a thing that happens, and that's not what the show's designed for. Hence, it's variety. But thank you so much to everyone who drops us a line. It really does mean a lot. And with a tough week that this week has been, hence why we have bumped the show back to being Monday, this week being Monday, don't worry, back to normal as of this coming Sunday. It means a lot because I get to do something. Not that I don't enjoy other things in my life, but it's kind of like, I try and enjoy everything that I do, and this is my outlet for that. So thank you. Thank you everyone for making this possible. Yeah, and folks over at Geek.io know this as well. It's a brilliant sort of thing to nestle up and listen to Dale Campbell on the Generic Live Show. Now to eating almonds. Almond time. Eating almonds improves good cholesterol. Eating almonds can help fraction of good cholesterol in the body to improve overall heart health, according to a US study. High density in protein, or HDL, is a good cholesterol, quote unquote, good cholesterol, because it helps remove other forms of cholesterol from your bloodstream and arteries that have been linked to a higher risk of heart disease. Researchers at Penn State University recently compared levels of HDL cholesterol in people who ate almonds every day to those who ate a muffin instead. Okay, first of all, that is legitimately comparing apples to confectionery bananas. Like, that is... What's going to be healthier? I'm sorry. Nuts or a muffin? Like, okay. That's, okay. We'll read on here. The study published in the Journal of Nutrition found participants on the almond diet had improved HDL levels and functionality. Well, of course they did. Of course. I could have told you that if you paid me. Professor of Nutrition Penny Chris Ethelton said that the findings were built on previous research on the effects of almond on cholesterol lowering diets. Quote, there's a lot of research out there that says that a diet that includes almonds lowers density lipoprotein or LDL cholesterol, which is a major risk factor for heart disease. but not as much is known for how almonds affect UDL cholesterol, or HDL cholesterol rather, which is considered a good cholesterol and helps lower your risk of heart disease. There you go. In a controlled feeding study, oh boy howdy, boy howdy, a controlled feeding. So is it like those videos where you see the cat where the cat rings the bell and it gets a biscuit, and if he rings the bell he doesn't get a biscuit? Is that what study we're talking about here? Is that what we're doing? Okay, fine. Whatever you're into, man. Whatever helps you pay the rent this month. 48 men and women with elevated LDL cholesterol were assigned 2 different 6-week diets. God, this went on for 6 weeks? Okay. Again, whatever helps you pay the rent each week, and whatever. In both, their food intake was identical except for their daily snack. On an almond diet, participants received 43 grams, or about a handful, of almonds a day. During the control period, they received a banana muffin instead. Which I suppose, by the way, is, out of all the fruits, a banana muffin is probably your best bet. Because a blueberry muffin has the blueberries, and blueberries are very sweet. So there you go. Where were we here? The researchers found compared to the control diet, the almond diet increased a 1 HDL, more mature, larger HDL molecules by 19%. HDL molecules grew in size as they clean up the bad cholesterol cells and tissues. There you go. Additionally, the almond diet improved HDL function by 6.4% in participants of normal weight. We are able to show that there are much larger particles in response to consuming the almonds compared to not consuming the almonds, Professor Chris Eatherton said. They would translate to smaller particles doing what they were supposed to be doing. They're going to tissues and pulling out cholesterols. They're getting bigger and taking the cholesterol to the liver for removal of the body. So cholesterol out your poo-poo? Is that how that works? How does one get rid of cholesterol in the human body? I don't know how that works. No. If people incorporate almonds into their diet, they should expect multiple benefits, including the one that could improve your heart health. Oh, there you go. But I've heard that almonds are very fatty. Is that almonds, or is that something else that's very fatty? I know that one of the nuts are very fatty, and yes, I accidentally just called almonds a fruit. Move on. All right. As we continue here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday, it's Dale Kimball here with you. Well, we've got an NBN update. Beep, 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 beep. What's wrong with the NBN this week? Alright, oh, no, here we go. We got that. What's wrong with the NBN this week? Yeah, there you go. What's wrong with the NBN this week? Coming up now. No, not right now. Not right now. But it's coming up soon. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. We're doing it for Geek.io as always. Thanks for joining us. It's 10:32. Generic Live Show is sponsored by ProXPN. ProXPN is an uber secure VPN that believes you should be able to use the internet how you want to, by encrypting all traffic that goes through it. It keeps all of your data private and your IP is completely hidden, so your location is secure. Keeps you safe from stupid cable 6 strike rules and more. With everything going on, ProXPN is a good investment and is very affordable and won't break the bank. Keep your traffic safe. Go to proxpn.com and use GEEK20, that's GEEK number 2 number 0 GEEK20 for 20% off the already really low price starting at $6.25 a month. we thank ProXPN for their support of the Generic Live Show. Generic Live Show is sponsored by Tweaked Audio. With 7 styles and 7 colors, there are mic'd and non-mic'd options available. Designed to sound great with music and talk, and engineered for durability. All options come with a lifetime guarantee and a noise-reducing design. Compatible with all of your devices, even those weird Windows phones. We have an exciting offer just for you. If you use our coupon code GEEK at checkout, you'll receive a third off your order plus free worldwide shipping. Head on over to tweakedaudio.com to check out the range. And when you're ready to order, use coupon code GEEK, that's G-E-E-K, GEEK, at checkout for a third off and free worldwide shipping. We thank Tweaked Audio for their support. Whether we're waking you up or putting you to sleep, this is the Generic Live Show. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. We're doing it for Geek.io here on a Monday. I know, that's really still weird to say. Thanks for joining us. It's a pleasure to be here, as per always. Now, I need to find out, what is this Sam thing? I know I'm contributing to ad revenue here, but it's from a news source that I normally go to, so I don't mind throwing them a few ad dollars. What is... Come on. You have 5 seconds to load page. Sam. Samantha, Samson, Samuel, Sammai, Samaya, Cementon, Saminda, Sam, Sams, Samantha, Samson, okay. Not everyone knows about Uber, but everyone knows a Sam. What? So, who better to help Aussies learn about us than Sam? That's why we're going to get anyone with first names that starts with S-A-M, a free $20 Uber ride every day for the week of 21st of August to the 27th of August. Register and download the app by the 18th of August. Oh, okay, no, I just realized. Sam. Any Sams out there? Get on Uber. Uber Australia, by the way. That's Uber Australia. That's what that meant. So I just realized my backing track was still going. Oh, there you go. That's what that is. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for everyone's favorite segment. What is wrong with the NBN this week? That is what that is. Oh, and I haven't played. I need a good excuse to play this. I need a perfect excuse to play that. So now's a better time as any to play that. The headline alone is just, I could spend hours analyzing this, just one headline. The 6 rage including stages of an NBN installation. So now we looked about at last week, the week before, all the weeks blend the same these days. We swapped this article out, by the way. This wasn't in the run sheet yesterday. We swapped this out for the story that's in there today, if we have time in this segment, but I don't think we will. The 6 rage-inducing, stages of an NBN. So it took 7 technicians 3 months to get Denby's NBN connection installed. Now she's not sure if it's even worth it. Oh man, that byline! Oh my god, this story is amazing. When I started working from home, the promise of a lightning-fast NBN connection was irresistible. Simply irresistible. But But 7 technicians, and 3 months later, she's not sure if it's worth it. So here is her frustrating NBN journey. Stage 1. Shock and denial. This is, by the way, written in her perspective. Stage 1. Shock and denial. As my fiance hangs up the phone, I knew he says anything that today is not our day. Again. So, actually, we will...
You know that business. The one that's not
no.
known for
No.
that thing.
No. Oh. An ad blocking me off? Alright. I will get back to that video, the NBN answering your broadband questions. It's a 5th not our day in the process of having NBN installed. I don't know how many people with full-time jobs need to get this much time off work. Oh, God. How can society function with anyone doing this? It can't. Trains won't run. The post won't come. Maybe the NBN actually is the root of cause of suffering in Australia of 27. Okay, settle down. Okay, settle down. Settle down. You're working from home. You count your blessings. I explained the situation to one of my dear friends over coffee, and she struggles to mantra might help. Oh, a mantra might help. She says, I realize the essential truth that today is not NBN Day. And NBN Day may not come for several months. Gosh. Wow. Okay. Stage 2. Pain and guilt. Maybe I'll tell my client I have Ebola. Oh, jeez. Wait, is Ebola still a thing in 2017? Or are we gone past... Or have we gone past Ebola territory? Anyway, that's not important. That would explain how I went from I'll get to that by 5 p.m. Tuesday to no worries to blank a blank. Ebola would have been the straightforward explanation. So, there you go. I pick up the phone and practice my opening gambit. You know the NBN? There's a punchline. There's a punchline to that joke, right? You know the NBN? Isn't it great when it works? See, that's the punchline. This has no punchline. I made this punchline. This punchline is mine. Stage 3. I love poking fun of the NBN. I have the NBN, and things have been way better on this show than what we did previously, because I'm streaming. That my housemate's doing his thing. We're both on here at the same time. Both of us will probably be able to do Extra Life, the gaming marathon. That's probably going to happen this year because we both can have the capability to do it. So there you go. More infuriatingly, the number of times that anger and bargaining is the next stage. More infuriating than the number of times we've had to wait for a technician is the fact that they've been divided by 6 unsuccessful attempts at the connection in 2 reasons of failure. Reason 1, on their visits, and 3, the technicians, or 3. What? Oh, 1 and 3 out of 6. Math is hard. The technicians attended an apartment on the wrong street. Wow. Apparently the technicians are contractors, which that's true. Why would they be hired by the NBN company? That'd be just silly talk. Reason 2, on visit 2, the technician came to the right place but discovered a previously unknown thing in our basement called the Telstra room, which had no key. Okay. I like the man. This graph is amazing. This lady doesn't recall what happened most on visit 6, only to find out on this graph drawn by hand. So over time, so this graph, for podcast listeners, this graph is your normal line graph. So on the x-axis across the bottom, we've got time. Then on the y-axis, we've got rage level, and then that goes from no rage to max rage. There's no time on the thing, and there's this line graph that goes no rage to no amount of time to slowly increasing the rage level as time goes on, and it kind of plateaued at max level. It kind of maxed out. There you go. Stage 4, the upward turn. This stage is a lie. Stage 5, reconstruction and working through. Oh man, oh man. By the 7th technician, Mohammed arrives. My faith in humanity has reached the lowest point since my failure to win Dolly's magazine's model search as chubby, bespectacled 14-year-old. I explained this to Mohammed, and he hadn't heard of Dolly magazine. He had, however, heard of the Telstra Room and procured a key. What? Crazy. Stage 6, acceptance and hope. Oh, we all live in this hope. Even when Mohammed leaves with our new NBN connection working, I can't summon any good feelings about it. Perhaps it will just take time. I call my friends with mantras and tell them my mantras aren't working anymore and I've ran out of vodka. Girl, I hear you. Ran out of vodka. Ooh, that's the bottom of the glass. Should have stirred that. She suggested I Google a good psychologist. Oh man, alright. Hey Siri. Hey Siri. Any good psychologists around?
The highest rated one I found is Mavis Damon.
Okay. Alright.
Sorry, I can't find that item.
Good. Good. Alright. That is me live dumping myself on the internet. Don't you love it? Don't you love Dale's self-censorship time? But, man, what? I like the fact that I can be that casual around Siri. Like it's just a super cash. Hey, what's up, Siri? Hey Siri. What's up?
Just enjoying the nice spring weather, and the summer, and autumn, and winter. I'm multi-hemispheric.
Huh. What? Ah, multi-hemispheric. Oh. But hang on, it can't be summer, spring, autumn, and winter all at the same time. Huh. I just realized, Siri, you've done it again. And now all of the iPhones I've triggered by saying, hey Siri, over and over and over again. Just make sure your phone's like kind of off camera when that happens. Meanwhile, the airline Jetstar. Oh no, we were playing that video. Thank you for that reminder. Now that I have to load that article up again. Like I said, and my final thoughts on the NBN. I think the NBN is fine. It's fine. It does its job. You know, it really does its job. And we're doing our thing here. My housemate's in the other room doing his thing, and it's, again, you can say all these bad things about the NBN, but realistically, like, come on, like, realistically, what do you actually expect from the NBN at this point? If you've been following the show for 3 years, what do you actually expect from the NBN?
You know
at
that
this
business,
point?
the one that's known for
Because
that thing, that's something special.
Me personally,
like
I
Red
don't
Robot,
expect
who brought the humble
much.
photo
I-
booth into the 21st
When the
century.
NBN got
2 mates,
installed here
1
at the
garage,
house,
no
when we
aircon.
were
Design
told
it, make it,
to
break
switch
it,
over,
make it better.
you are
Hang on,
eligible
there are
for
apps
the
for that
switch
on the
over.
Telstra Apps Marketplace.
I was real
Now they're
nervous.
the biggest photo booth
I was real
manufacturer in
nervous,
the
though.
Southern
I was
Hemisphere.
like,
But you know
it
what?
was-
This
it was
business started like
nerve-wracking. It
yours.
was like, oh,
Be that
make
business
that
with the
jump.
tools to help you thrive.
We're gonna have to make it sometime because they're forcing people on it. Remember? I'll make that. I'll make that leap of faith. I have faith in humanity. Like I will take that jump. And we did, and we like it, and we didn't have an issue. So take that. But we're We're onto the node. We haven't got direct wired. That's probably got something to do with it. What's node got to do? There you go. What? Anyway, NBN CEO answering your questions. Aussies are dissatisfied with the national broadband network, particularly about poor speeds and dropouts.
If you think of NBN as kind of the on-ramp onto a motorway, and that the motorway itself has multiple lanes that people have shared, and one motorway intersects with a different motorway, if you're going from the M1 to the M2 as an example. Well, the NBN network is the M1, your provider's network is the M2, and if the number of lanes reduce, then you're going to see a speed reduction occur at that time frame.
Okay. For visual listeners, you have to kind of look at the screen and go, what a bunch of thing. Oh, it's Edgar Allan Ho. Hello, Edgar Allan Ho. Welcome. But you look at that is the most kind of strange thing. Wouldn't your provider be the on ramp, not your? Hey, I don't know. I don't know about that one. Once an NBN is available in my area, do I have to switch? Is the next question.
Yes, you'll have to move over.
Can I just have that? Can I just have that in a clip? Can I have that clipped out? Yes, you'll have to move over. Like, what? What in the world? Like, seriously? Yes, you'll have to move. Yeah. Yeah, you're here now. Yay! You get to watch me eat soon-ish. Soon. So glad you could join us, though, Edgar Allan Ho. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And people that have come and gone, and that, like I said earlier, this segment, this show is designed to be that. I mean, people joining us live for the whole thing, stay a while, please, and listen. But also, it's casually listening, like the radio. You don't. No one sits in front of the radio and listens for 3-hour blocks anymore. I mean, you could. The next question on the NBN docket is, how do we get the best out of the NBN?
Understand which providers are available in your area, what are the prices they offer, and more importantly, what are the kinds of quality and service levels that you can expect, in particular, at the busy time of the day. From education, from health, from, of course, the social aspects and entertainment aspects, the sky's the limit at that point. But it's really important that we all get access to it, and that's why 2020 stands out as one of the critical milestones.
That everyone's going to be on the NBN by 2020. That is optimistic at best. And we're at 2017. We're over halfway through 2017. That is scary to think about in a number of ways. Knowing the NBN's at the halfway point now, we've been doing this show 3 years on and off now. We had a couple of breaks in between, but we're in the ebbs and flows of things now. We've been doing the show on and off for 3 years. The NBN was on one of the first ever first ever GLSs. I was back doing the headlines as well, and the discussion points. I don't remember those. Remember those days. And back when we were doing those, that was back in 2014. We're now at 2017. And we're going to get there by 2020. I mean, mathematically it's possible, but is it physically possible? That's the question. As we continue here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday, well, we got some food. We're going to eat live on the air because everyone loves to hear that. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you. It's 10:52.
Hello, dear listener. Here at Geek.io, we're always happy to give some support to the little person. So today I'd like to let you know about a small internet startup called Amazon.com. Go to geek-io.net/Amazon to check out their large catalogues of books and magazines. I believe they may have some other items for sale too, records and videotapes perhaps. Using geek-io.net/Amazon lets them know you discovered them through us and I'll throw a few pennies our way. Thank you.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is JD from How It Stacks here to talk to you about ProXPN. It is a private VPN, which basically means it is going to mask your IP address, protecting your data. So if you're out on the interwebs doing things you might not need to be doing, or if you're banking online overseas, it will help mask your data and keep it completely private. And you can do this for only $6.25 a month regularly, or you can use Geek20 for 20% off. So it's a pretty stellar deal, guys. And I'm just going to be honest, with all of the stuff that we've had going on, it's a good idea to invest in something like ProXPN.com. So I am JD, and I approve this message.
We're here to give you a big dose of genericness. This is the Generic Live Show. Thanks for joining us here on the Generic Live Show for a Sunday. It's Dale Campbell here with you at Adka Allen Ho. You hit the nail on the head. It's time for Announcement Bonanza! I can't play two things at the same time. Yeah, it's a very complex system. So instead of what I was meant to play, there is that. Oh god, that lights up way too well. Oh god. Okay, so Dragon Con, yes, the Geek.io show will be live at Dragon Con on Friday, 8:30 p.m. The Galleria 6 in the Hilton. That the Friday of Dragon Con, 8:30 p.m. The Galleria 6 in the Hilton. Myself, CJ Boat. Announcement Bananas, yay! I said Bonanza, but Announcement Bananas works. Did I say Bonanza? I said Banana. I said Bananas. Announcement Bananas, yay! Myself, CJ Boat, Rachel, Raul Gaza, and Charles McFall will be on that Geek.io panel show Bonanza deal. There will be food, there will be trivia, there will be the Geek.io SmackDown results. It's all coming with you. It's all coming with you. It's all coming with you. That's a new saying. It's all coming with you. That no one says ever. So there you go. So that is happening Friday, 8:30 p.m. at the Galleria 6 in the Hilton of Dragon Con. Be there. It's great. That got announced before I logged onto Twitter to announce that. If you are around tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, tune in back at twitch.tv/Geek.io show. The Small Screen Spoilers Show, Orange is the New Black recap, finally. We're doing that, so 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we're doing that. And next Sunday, so not this coming show, but the following show, the 27th of August at 9 p.m, we have a very special guest, Maddie Benedetti, an awesome girl in her own right, will be a very special guest on this show, and she is amazing. So she is, she's perfect for this show. She's been on before. She is going to be amazing. So without further ado, I thought a little fun thing to close off the show, because I wasn't here last night, so I bumped the show, and we're going to try something a little bit different. Aww, Edgar Allan Ho says that they'll try their best to make it. Oh. You'll be there in spirit. You'll be there in spirit. That's all that matters, right? That you're there in spirit. Anyway. So, in absence of not being here last night, we are going to eat to round off the show. Which is really bizarre. So, there you go. I don't know if they have these in America, but we don't have them here. So, that's what matters most, right? We're going to try 2 new Doritos flavors. Well, new to me anyway. Doritos After Dark is what they're called. Ooh, After Dark. We got Tacos at Midnight. And we've got Southern Fried Chicken are the 2 flavors. So here we go. I think we're just going to open these up. Get all the packet sounds on the so, man, oh boy, that smell. Oh boy, saucy, saucy. Man, it smells like tacos. It doesn't necessarily smell like midnight, but it definitely smells like tacos. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I'm a Southern girl. Oh. Yes, I'm a Southern girl. Alright, so there's the chip. Oh my god, these are the tacos at midnight. Wow. These are really good. The tacos at midnight. What about the Southern Fried Chicken? Yeah, the Southern Fried Chicks. I'm about to put some Southern Fried Chicks in my mouth. I don't know how I feel about this, but we'll play on. Southern Fried Chicken. Smells like chicken. Does it taste like chicken? Oh my god. These are amazing. Oh my god. If I have any room in my bag left before I go to America, these are coming with me, but I don't think I'll have room. Oh my god. Okay. Well then. Man, these are amazing. I think I like the tacos one better. I mean, these are warming up to me. They are really warming up to me. But that does bring us. Mum, if you're listening, I'm sorry I'm talking with my mouth full. But that does bring us to the end of yet another generic live show. And in the wise words of Edgar Allan Poe, please don't fry me. Thanks for joining us. I've been Dale Campbell. I will continue to be Dale Campbell until I get off my butt and go to the courthouse and not change my name. Thanks for joining us here on a Monday. It's Dale Campbell here. Thanks for joining us. It's 11:01.
This has been a Geek.io Media Network production. Copyright 2017.